Mackenzie, and today I'm going to talk about our trip to Europe as a fam of 7. And no, we did not have any help. We did not bring a nanny. We did not bring a sibling. We didn't bring a parent, a grandparent, nothing. It was our 10-year anniversary this summer, July 3rd. Can hardly believe it. Can hardly believe we have 5 children. I couldn't fathom leaving them, and also I don't know who I would leave them with. Plus, I want these kids to be well-traveled, and we'll definitely do a vlog on what we packed, what we shouldn't have packed, and the things that helped the plane ride go smoothly. Like, maybe I've flown through Paris before, but we've never done France and seen the countryside, or there's so many beautiful pilgrimages. I wish we could have done Lourdes too, but we really focused on Lisieux this time because our oldest is named Trez, and she's gonna be 9, and I think it was a core memory for sure. I interviewed all the kids. I would love to hear what each one of them took away from the trip, what they loved most, and all of their thoughts. We took a red eye from DIA all the way to London and woke up first thing in the morning and we're ready to go. The red eye wasn't bad, but I'm gonna be honest with you guys, the red eye was worse than the flight back, and I was certain the flight back was going to be miserable and the red eye was going to be a breeze. How would the red eye be a breeze? We have 5 children and there's 2 of us. So of course Colin didn't sleep. And I was kind of in and out. How old was the baby? 3 months old. He was still at that prime age where you can just travel and it's not a big deal if you don't have a colicky baby. Let me just say that. But I don't have a colicky baby. So he was still easy. He would sleep anywhere and it was great. It was so good. But again, you're holding him and trying to sleep and trying to make sure everybody's asleep and trying to like shush others. And it was a lot, right? We did it. We made it. We got these little cushions for your feet so you could, like, the kids could lay out, and they were TSA approved and everything. We get on the plane, Colin blows them up. Flight attendant walks through right by and says, no, you need to put those away. Now, I bought 2. I bought the inflatable cushions, and then I bought these like pop-up beds. I don't know what else they're called. I will link both of those. And I think the pop-ups would have worked. We actually packed in shoe racks. So each kid had an outfit a day. Now I only packed 4 outfits that you could mix and match because we were gonna be gone 9 days, I think. Kid had an outfit a day and it was easy. It was like Monday they're gonna wear this, Tuesday they're gonna wear this, and it was in a little pocket where the shoe would go. And that was easy to roll up. We threw it in their duffel. The duffel I use Walker Family Goods. I love them. We only have 2 and they're the big one. This time we just brought 2 of those duffels and a carry-on sound machines and extra shoes and all that sort of thing. And then the 2 oldest girls were able to bring a backpack. Snacks, we did the beef sticks, we did cheese sticks, we did apples, fresh fruit, just for the ride there. And then we ended up having like granola bars, energy balls, and beef sticks still when we had landed. And I read a blog and it said the best thing to bring was cold noodles. So you would cook the noodles, put them in a Ziploc baggie, and the kids would eat plain cold noodles. And it was like an energy boost. It was a quick, easy snack. I didn't do it, but hey, try it. It sounds amazing. We arrived in London early morning, and this was our one hard day. I remember we were going through security, and the trip was done, and we were on some sort of layover. I can't remember. And this sweet Australian man pulled me aside, and he said, "Was it worth it?" And I said, "It was. It absolutely was worth it. Thank you, sir. Thanks for checking in." So it was worth it. And I mean that in full transparency. I would tell you guys if you shouldn't do this trip. I would tell you if it's too much to travel with your kids. Then again, everybody knows their children, and everybody's children are different. Mine have traveled a lot. We've moved a lot. We've done a ton of road trips. We've done a ton of plane rides. My kids have ridden on planes more than probably the average 30-year-old. So they're kind of used to it. You just do it. You do it, and you have low expectations, and you just go. Our hardest day was that first day. I mean, we just got back from a red eye. We were exhausted, and I was like, well, we can check into our hotel, but we can't be in our hotel room yet, so let's keep moving, because my goal was to just get to nap time so that we could all have like a power nap and then get to bedtime at a decent hour, which is hard on the time change. So what did we do? We walked a mile in London to go get a breakfast, and this spot was amazing. I wish we could have enjoyed it to its full potential, but that was our one hard time, and it was a time of meltdowns. I think every child was crying at one point except for Trez. And I just looked at each other and laughed. I mean, we did it to them, right? It's our fault. It's not their fault. They're kids. They're like, where am I? I want to sleep. I am exhausted. You just made me walk a mile. Game changer, I'll link it. It was a double stroller, side by side, with a scooter rack. So you really could have 3 kids in a stroller. There was a nicer version, but I found one on Facebook Marketplace that we could just throw away when we were done. Now, was the scooter a little wobbly? Absolutely. Could Franny handle it? Yes. So we did that, and that was a game changer. I think it annoyed Colin the most so because he had to push it, so it was probably heavy. But it was nice to just throw all the 3 middles on it, and then I had tea walking, and I would usually wear shame. Did that lunch. It was a fiasco. We got back to the hotel, and we all crashed. But I remember this feeling one other time, and it was when we got to Dublin after a red eye. And Colin and I were so tired that we went to the movie theaters, paid for a movie, and took a nap in the movie theater. You cannot open your eyes. They say jet lag lasts however many time zones you go through in days. So what, 6 days? So by the end we were fine, but we were about to go right back. And jet lag is always harder to go east than it is to go west. Tonight, after our big long nap, we decided we have to check out Dishoom. Is it Dishoom or Dishoon? They're right at 459. Got a table. They were delightful, just lovely to my family. We had a drink, we had this phenomenal meal, and then it got packed. And I was recommended this by all of my siblings who have been to Europe countless times or have studied abroad. The greatest part of that was we took the double-decker bus. Go, Brady! Because I promised we would. We took that there, and then we ended up walking back to the hotel. That, and we got home to the hotel for a good night's sleep just to get on a train the next morning. And I was told to get to the train station early because it can get crazy and confusing, and it was very packed, but it wasn't too stressful. And maybe I've been through too many stressful travel situations. This one wasn't. They were so kind. They let us ride on with our IDs and passports. Again, we had to pull those bad boys out. We get on, and then we go and find, the signs. It's like the trains in New York and DC and Boston. You have to look at the sign and you just wait, call your train, and then you all run. When I hear that, I took Franny and the baby and I said, meet me at the train, Colin, because in my mind, we paid for a ticket, we didn't pay for a seat. So it was certain we had to get these 7 seats together. That's the other thing, you guys. Don't pay for kids' seats. I think it's 4 years old and under, you don't have to pay. We bought everybody's seat. And I'm rushing around to find these seats. And then this kind person is like, well, look at your ticket. I look at my ticket. We have 7 seats together.
We're gonna go under café à la voiture Wittinette qui est ouvert au milieu du train. Vous pouvez aussi acheter des Navigo cards pour les transports parisiens.
When we pulled up to Paris, you guys, I'm not even kidding, Colin and I looked at each other because there was this huge aroma of roses. And if you know me, you know that St. Therese has stalked me most of my young adult life, and so it was no surprise. We just looked and laughed, and it just smelled like roses, like, welcome family, I'm so happy you're here. And it was just such a lovely little moment with her. We arrive, we get our rental car. The rental car was easy, it really was. And the thing about the rental cars, though, you guys, is they're so small, so pack light, because cars are just smaller than in Europe. I mean, everything's smaller. Anyway, we get our rental car, and I know that we have days in the countryside, but it's going to be a huge ordeal to come back out to Paris. So I'm like, we gotta go see the Eiffel Tower. Busy, we did our thing, and we had ice cream. The girls played at the park. We somehow found a good place to park too, which was funny. We got lattes, and then we did our drive all the way to Pierrefitte-Énague. Beautiful, you guys. It's this tiny little town, like an hour 10 outside of Paris. It was just lovely. It was 15 minutes from Lisieux, and it was this farm. It's like a mansion on a farm, and then we stayed in their guest house, which was lovely. And the girls had their little Peter Pan room. That's what I call it when it's like a big nursery. Ugh, my dream. And then we had a room, and then there were 2 bathrooms, and then a kitchen and dining room. I never knew what to call what I love, what I'm drawn to, and it was French countryside for sure. I was like taking photos, taking notes, how they use their exposed brick, how they use their beams. We have beams. The toile on the quilts, the quilts. I actually asked the Airbnb host, where can I order the quilts? The kitchens were amazing. So we just got there. We went to a little French restaurant and they accepted us even with the kids. And the kids did great. Honestly, they just ran around. We sat outside and we enjoyed a glass of wine. All the meals there for the kids seemed to be like sous vide chicken and cream sauce. They walked around the town there and got groceries from the market. That was our first night there. And then the next day, Sunday, so we went to Mass, and the church St. Therese was baptized in and went to daily Mass with her dad. It's the Church of Notre Dame there in the heart of Lisieux. And it was so wonderful. The thing about the Catholic Church is it's the same everywhere you go. Of course, in a different language. There was a point where Colin had to go grab something from the car. I needed a nurse. That's what I needed to do. So I ran to the back of the church, and of course my ducklings follow me, all of them, even Tress. And these sweet men who were just there greeting, they wipe off all the books on this table in the back, and they like point in French, like, come, like, you want to change your baby? Right here, go ahead. And I'm like, oh, no, just like pointing to my boob. I just need a nurse. And he's like, no, come. So he takes me and my kids out of the church, and I'm like, okay, where are we going? What's happening? To an outside rectory, and had us come in. And he said I could nurse there in French, but then he took all the kids because there was a kid procession for communion, and he wanted my girls, who don't understand anything but English, to walk with all the French little girls and boys. They weren't happy with me in the moment, but afterwards, Franny, the sweetest friend, so cute, and they were fast friends, and she spoke English fluently and just was a lovely little cute French girl. After that, decided to drive all the way out to the beach. Not Normandy. We decided Normandy would be another day. And we went to a cute little town. It was such a cute town, you guys. I could have spent all day there by myself or with Colin, bopping around, walking, seeing the shops, having all the pastries. But we drove straight to the beach, and it was called Rouville. It was like a little town, and I want to say it was 45 minutes from where we stayed. The beach was lovely. It wasn't my favorite beach while we were there, but it was a fun beach because there was so much wildlife. I had a little picnic lunch, and I had packed the picnic at the Airbnb that morning just to make it easy because the kids are always hungry. I've told you guys. Again, I would have walked around all day, but nap times and all the things. So that's the one thing about traveling with kids. You really got to scrap those. And we did a great job. Like I don't think they ever napped at the Airbnb. It was car naps, and that's the beauty of having a car. Now, Old Mackenzie would have driven to Lourdes during our stay, which would have been a 7-hour drive. But once I was there, I realized that was not a smart. I told you guys we love Assisi. We wanted to go back, but we chose France and London this time. There was a time when we were going to bop on over to Rome while we were there, because it was the canonization of Pier Giorgio Frassati, who Stella Maris Frassati is named after, as well as Carlo Acutis. It was their canonization day. I was so adamant, like, we have to bob on over to Rome. We have to go to Rome. I mean, you're only in Europe once in a while. Like, gotta see all the places. It's only an hour flight. It's not even expensive. You know, all the things. The still small voice told me, Mackenzie, just be happy with what you get to do. Stop trying to make it even bigger. And the second I said, Colin, let's just scrap that idea. Let's just not go to Assisi. I felt so much peace. Just enjoy the trip you get to go on. It's a blessing to even go. Low expectations, be happy with what you get to see and where you get to go, and just embrace it and roll with the punches, roll with the kids. That was that day. Back and opened our bottle of cider because the region we were in was known for its cider, and wow, was that cider delicious. It wasn't sweet, it was so light. Colin and I enjoyed that while the kids were just having quiet time. We're playing outside at the little Airbnb, and then he went out and got, I think, pasta that night because they figured we're not in Italy, but surely the French, who are known for their delightful cheese, make some good pasta, and they did. And then the next day we were able to go visit Lisieux, so that was our big pilgrimage day, and the girls loved it. We went to Carmel, we went to Terez's home, we did a home tour. I could have bought everything. Just seeing her and walking in her steps, getting a picture of Colin with his girls, just like Louis had all his little ladies, was really priceless. Going to see her tomb and her body and her relics, like that was really, really special. I could have prayed there all day. And then the girls and I sat and wrote down prayers in the big church and just prayed for a while Colin pulled up the car with the baby who was napping. And then we went and got croissants. And this day was pretty big because we last minute were like, let's go to Normandy. So we also got to drive all the way out to Normandy. Kids napped in the car. We had our delicious sandwiches. Like my mouth is watering still thinking about it. It was like a brie cheese sandwich with like salami and oh my gosh, the bread there, you guys. Like I know nothing about bread and I make it every week and I know nothing compared to the French. We did Normandy, which was really special, especially for Colin, who served our country in the Marine Corps and just loves history, and I love history. So it was really, really cool. But what struck me being there was how many, I mean, it felt like you were in America because everybody was speaking English. So the French made Normandy memorial for the Americans, like almost like as a thank you. Then we drove down to the beach of Normandy, and yes, it was totally eerie, but it was also the best beach. It was just these long beaches and beautiful tan sand. The weather was perfect. The water was lovely. The girls just ran and ran, and they would have stayed there all day if I let them, but it was getting late and we wanted to get home for dinner before our big trek and close up of that Airbnb. My dear friend Suzanne, who we knew they were going to be there the same time as us, and so it worked out so beautifully. His family so graciously let us stay, and we had a blast with her 6 kids because our kids are just great friends. So we had one more day and we decided to spend it in Paris. We did end up moving our train later because we wanted to see Notre Dame, obviously. T and Franny were adamant about going to Cedric's Bakery, which I don't know if you know him, but he is incredible. The creations he comes up with. I promised them we would get there first thing when Cedric's opened and wait in the line. I ran with the oldest. I think I took all 4 of them, and we ran to get in line. This line was long, you guys. Like, people were taking their time. I don't blame them. There was so much to choose from. And then this couple behind me said, I think there's another entrance on the other side and it's more of a cafe. And I said, I don't care. Show me where the cafe is. We take the risk. We leave the line and we run around the corner, and sure enough, there's a cafe. I ordered Colin a pour over and I let the girls go ham. I think we ordered one of everything. And then we drove from there to, it's an hour drive. It was only 15 minutes away, but public transportation might be the best bet here. But when you have so many little kids, it's the only way. We pull up and we're on the river. It's so beautiful. It's overcast again. And Colin's like, you better go see Notre Dame. So I walk up to the guards and I say, we want to go to Mass. We skip this like 10-row line. We walk right in, and sure enough, Mass is happening. It's almost a consecration. So I just stop the girls and we do take a moment. And we get to walk around. Beautiful, beautiful. It's like breathtaking. I could have spent hours in there, and I'm sure there were relics in the back I missed, but I was happy to see it. So we did that, and then we went and found berets because the girls needed a beret. So we got some berets in this stand, this little bodega on the corner, and then we ran back to the car. Colin had pulled it up, and I stayed in the car so he could go see it, and then we took a selfie. We drive to the train, and I am starting to get anxious because we're less than an hour and 15 minutes early, and I like to be 2 hours early for these things, but trains are different than planes, I guess. So we made it. We got some more lattes and some lunch for the drive, and we got on the train, and it was a nice, beautiful train ride back. And then we arrived in London, got on an Uber to go to our hotel because we actually booked a hotel at the airport this time just to make things easy for our flight in the morning. Now, our flight wasn't till 11, which thank you, Colin, for doing that because it was so much travel. It would have been hard if it was early. This really nice breakfast, got to the airport early, and then we went through security that morning. Security checkpoint said, wow, are you guys from America? Because you have so many kids. And I'm like, yeah, how did you know? Besides that we look at it. Said, well, you guys have so many kids. there's more space there. I wish I could have had more kids, and I just thought that was lovely. We get to our flight, we get on, and you guys, the flight was so easy. I'm not trying to act like there weren't hard moments or, you know, a fuss here and there, whatever here and there, but he was a dream. Birdie was pretty darn good for a 2-year-old. And to be honest, I let the girls have full reign their tablets and with the movies. I figured we never use tablets. We hardly ever have TV except for movie nights. And so if this is the one time, I'm gonna just suck it up and swallow my pride and pray that their brains aren't fried afterwards. And they did great, you guys, the whole time. I mean, it was a daytime flight. We got home around 2:30 p.m. Mountain Time, but it would have been like bedtime in London. So we survived the plane ride, and I'm just so proud of us. I could cry. It was like such a dream to go, and felt so insane to most people when you would tell them. If you've watched this far, let me tell you, you can do it too. And it's really about having perspective, preparing the kids well. I mean, my brother was so sweet. I shared this on my newsletter recently. They saw us for dinner like the night before we left, and he said, "Hey girls, your parents are doing something really special for you. Make sure you thank them and make sure you have good attitudes and appreciate every moment, because this is a once in a lifetime opportunity and most adults don't even get to do it." So it, you know, made me want to cry, because it is a gift that we were able to go. Such a blessing. And I know it's not easy for many to do that. But we planned for it, we saved for it, we prayed for it, and we got home, and Colin was like, it was like 2 more years till our next trip. I better start planning and saving. So we hope to do these more often. And I think the best thing that I took away from this was that was going to be our hardest trip, right? Because we have littles, and our oldest is 8.5. So surely this trip of this amount of kids would be the hardest, because they're only going to get older, they're only going to get better at traveling, and we're only going to get more seasoned. So I'm really proud of us for doing it. Please let me know if you have any questions, or if you want me to do a video on quick tips here and there, how to prepare the kids, how to pack, how long I would go, what I would do differently, all the things where I would stay. And I'm happy to do another video on that. But thanks for tuning in, and thanks for along for our family vlog to London and France. Air's off. Nothing plugged in. Let us love, let us run.
Stroller. Skateboards are more for boys.
I know things have been a little strained around here lately because of all the stuff going on outside.
Ready?
Yeah.
Job, all those things that can weigh you down. You know, sometimes, just sometimes, you bring that home with you. And I understand, but you know, I want us to just stop for a minute and think about how much we have together.